Today's our lecture is on Jablonski diagram. The Jablonski diagram is a powerful tool for visualizing the possible transition that can occur after a molecule has been photoexcited. So a typical Jablonski diagram is shown here. You can see that one. And the key components and transitions that make up that diagram are explained below. So basically the various processes taking place after a molecule absorb light energy can be summarized in this diagram. So here it is, you can see that this S0 is nothing but the ground state. This H0 is nothing but the ground state of the molecule, and at the ground state the electron pair will be appear like that. Okay, so the electrons, both the electrons in the molecule should be in the pair form. Now S1 is nothing but the S1 and S2 is nothing but the excited state, singlet excited state. Okay, both are singlet excited state. This is singlet ground state, singlet GS, right? So you might have learned about that, the singlet and triplet one, right? So here it is, we are going to consider when this ground state absorb energy, that means H mu. You can see here the first step is absorption. So the molecule is going to be absorb energy H mu, and due to this absorption the electrons in the molecule is going to be excited to first excitation state, that is singlet excitation state, right? First excitation, S1 stands for the singlet excitation, this one stands for the first excitation, right? You can see here that the electrons should go from here to, when the energy is absorbed, they can excited up to the singlet state. If the energy is in excess form, if that molecule possesses or absorbs excess energy, then it goes into higher excitation state, that is S2. Okay, so due to this excess energy, the electrons in the molecule goes to higher excitation, right? So on, S2 to S3, S2, like that. So here it is. Now this S0 is nothing but the ground state, right? So these are the electronic excited state, S1 to S2, right? So these are the electronic excitation state, okay, electronic excitation state. Now each electronic excitation state possesses some different number of vibrational energy levels. You can see here. So this is V0, V1, V2, V3. You can see here. So these are the vibrational energy levels for each electronic excitation, right? So these are vibrational energy levels. Right? So when the electrons excited from ground state to excited state, the electron goes through this vibrational energy from ground state to excited state vibrational energy, right? It possesses higher absorption energy, then goes to the higher excitation state, and after that sometimes when the electrons comes down, then it feels some relaxation among this vibrational energy. So this particular zigzag type pattern is known as vibrational relaxation. You can see each electron feels some vibrational relaxation. They spend some time through this state and comes down, right? So now here it is, when the electrons comes down, though, then initially you can see that this is absorbed energy, right? When excited, the electron absorbs some amount of energy, and when it comes down, S2 to S1, right? You can see here S2 to S1, so it emits some amount of energy, that is again H mu dash. It emits some amount of energy. Similarly, when it comes from S1 to ground state, that is S0, it emits some amount of energy. You can see here, right? So when the molecule absorbs energy, the electron gets excited because of absorption of energy, right? And when the molecule comes down to the ground state, it loses energy. So this is emitted energy and this is absorbed energy. Okay, this one is emitted energy, and that emitted energy is known as, when the electron comes from higher singlet excitation state to lower singlet state, that is S1 to H0, it is known as fluorescence. Okay, you can see here, it is known as fluorescence. This one is fluorescence. Okay, similarly, now there is this one is a triplet state. Here it is these are the singlet state, but there is a triplet state, and this one represents the inter-system crossing. This is known as inter-system crossing. Inter-system crossing. But we know that the excitation from singlet to, according to the spin selection rule, singlet to singlet state is allowed, right? Or S1 to S2 is allowed, or S1 to S0 is allowed, means within the same multiplet excitation is allowed. But the excitation from singlet state to triplet state is not allowed according to the spin rule. It is spin forbidden. This one is a spin forbidden. Okay, this one is a spin forbidden. So S0 to S1 is allowed, S1 to H0 is allowed, S1 to S2 is allowed, or S2 to H0. These are the allowed, spin allowed transition. But S1 to T1 is not allowed. This is known as forbidden according to spin selection rule. So here it is, the transition is actually happening here. The transition is happening here. So why this could be happen? Because of the energy levels of this excitation state. You can see here the energy level of this S1, vibrational energy level, right? And this higher vibrational energy level in triplet state. So both the energy levels are equal. So when the excitation or transformation is possible, if the two states having equal energy, then in that case there is a um, excitation of electron from one state to another state. Here it is, this V0 is energetically equivalent to V3 of triplet state. So that's why the electrons, when the electrons feel some vibrational relaxation at this excited state, singlet excited state, then during that time the energy levels of this V0 of singlet excited state and this vibrational energy level of triplet excited state will be equal. At that time the electron from this state crosses this system and appear a place in the triplet state. So this particular system is known as inter-system crossing. So while that crossing, the pair of the electron changes its spin. Means if the electron in this state is having spin like that, when it crosses the system, then the spin should be inverted, should be like that. So that is known as inter-system crossing. Okay, that is known as inter-system crossing. So again, when the electrons comes in the triplet state, it has again different types of vibrational energy levels, and the electrons feel some vibrational relaxation. Okay, so after that, sometime the electron comes from triplet state to ground state. Here it is, the electrons come from triplet excitation state to ground state with the elimination of this energy. Again, energy is emitted by this one. So that particular energy is known as fluorescence. Sorry, phosphorescence. It is phosphorescence. So when the energy is emitted from S1 to S0, here it is, you can see that S1 to S0, this is known as fluorescence. And when the energy is emitted from triplet state to H0 is known as phosphorescence. Okay, so this is how the Jablonski diagram. But now let us consider one by one. Here it is, the description is there. The first step of Jablonski diagram is that the absorption, when the molecules involves the absorption of photon of a particular energy by the molecule, it gets electronic excitation. As I earlier said that it goes electronic excitation from S0 to S1 state. Okay, S0 to S1 state. If it possesses excess energy, then it goes to higher excitation energy, that is X2. You can see here as we discussed earlier. Now this excited species can return to the ground state, right? Here it is, you can see that due to the vibrational relaxation, the electron, excited electron comes down and comes to the ground state, right? By losing of its excess energy by one of the following absorption. So there are two types of absorption: non-radiative process and radiative process. Let us understand what is non-radiative process and radiative process. So while in case of non-radiative processes transition, it involves basically from higher energy to lower energy. You can see that higher energy, that is singlet higher energy, and this one is a singlet lower energy. So S2 to S1, this particular excitation, right, when the electrons come down from S2 to S1, is known as non-radiative transition, or S3 to S1. Directly you can consider S2 to S1 or S2 to S1. So these are, or T2 to T1, T2 to T1. These are the non-radiative process. So it does not involve emission of any radiation, hence called as non-radiative transition. While this transition happening, when this, you can see here, this electron is come from S2 to S1. Here it is, there is no emission of any kind of energy. So that's why they are known as non-radiative transitions. Okay, it only involves emission of heat. Okay, while during that transition, only the heat is emitted. Okay, now what is meant by radiative transition? Radiative transition means there is a radiation, there is emission of radiation. So it involves transition from singlet first one, that is S1 to H0. Here it is, you can see that S1 to H0. So radiative transition means S1 to H0 means higher excited singlet state to ground state singlet state, right? This particular transition is known as radiative transition. Similarly, excited triplet state to ground state singlet ground state. Okay, so these particular two transitions are belong to the radiative transition. Now let us understand what is meant by vibrational relaxation. That I already told you that when the electrons are in, this is, sorry, S2, this is S1, and this one is H0. Okay, when the electron is excited, so you can see that electron goes from here to here, or electron goes from here to here. While coming down S2 to S1, it feels some vibrational relaxation. This is known as vibrational relaxation. Okay, so an electronic excited species is usually associated with an excess of vibrational energy levels. So any kind of electronically associated excited electrons is always associated with the excess of vibrational energy. And in addition to this, the electronic energy levels, the molecules in higher vibrational energy levels, that is H2 or S1, loses energy by collision and come to the ground vibrational state. So while coming down, they loses energy through this S2 to S1, S1 to H0, and they come to ground state. Okay, so typically time scales for this process are in the order of 10 raised to 10 raised to minus 13 to 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. Okay, so this vibrational relaxation occurs for this time slab. So this is S1 to H0, or S2 to S1. So the molecule feels some vibrational relaxation among these vibrational energy levels. You can see here, you can see. Okay, so now next one is internal conversion, that is this one is IC. You can see that this IC is internal convergence. So the relaxation from upper excited state, the relaxation from upper excited state. This is S1, sorry, S2, and this one S1 is there, and S0 is there. Okay, so here it is. The electron is feeling some vibrational relaxation, right? The relaxation from upper excitation state as S2. Okay, sometimes there may be S3, etc. To lower electronic excited state, that is such as S1. The same multiplet takes place rapidly by the non-radiative process of internal conversion. So this internal conversion means the excitation of electron from higher excited state to lower excited state. So this particular is known as internal convergence, right? Similarly, you can see here this is internal conversion. So you can see that S2 to S1 or S1 to H0. This particular conversion is known as internal, and it occurs within the time span that is 10 to minus 11 seconds. And the next one is fluorescence. So the fluorescence involves a radiative transition, right? Because it is from excitation from S1 to H0 with the elimination of energy, right? So this is known as fluorescence. So between the state of same multiplet, so S is there, singlet state is there, multiplicity is same, and that is spin allowed transition, usually from the lowest vibrational level of the lowest excited singlet state. So lowest vibrational energy levels of lowest excited state. So this S1, right, and this is the lowest vibrational energy level, right? V0 is the lowest vibrational energy level. Lowest vibrational energy level. This is V0, V2, V1, V2, V3, like that. Okay, this is V1, V2, V3. This is H0. So the excitation occurs when the fluorescence occurs when the electron is excited from lowest vibrational energy of lowest excited state. So there are many excited states, na? S1, S2, S3, that. Among these, this S1 is the lowest excited state, and from that lowest excited state, lowest vibrational energy is there. So the excitation from this one to this one is known as fluorescence, and this is the radiative process. Radiative process means it emits a light, right? You can see that S1 to H0, and that occurs within the time of S1 to H0 plus H mu dash. So this is fluorescence, and the time required for this process is 10 to minus 8 seconds. Next one is intersystem crossing. Okay, now let us understand intersystem crossing. So this is S1, this is S2, and this should be our S0. Here it is, another one level is there, that is this is T1, this is T2. Okay, you can see that when the electron is excited from low ground state to excited, it goes here and here, right? Again it comes down, right? It comes down. Okay, so during that case a state is occurred where the intersystem crossing is possible. Why intersystem crossing possible? Because the lowest vibrational energy of this S1 having equal vibrational energy levels of this T1. So this is V3, V1, V2, V, okay, V0, V1, V3. So these two energy levels having equal energy. Therefore, the intersystem of electron is possible. Intersystem crossing of electron is possible. So therefore, when the electrons at this stage having this type of spin, and while during the intersystem crossing the spin is going to be inverted like that. So here it is the electrons having spin like here, like that, in the ground state here, in the excited singlet excited state like that, upper excited state like that, but in the triplet excited state the spin of electron is in upward direction, right? So this particular system is known as intersystem crossing. Why intersystem crossing occurs? due to the energy levels are equivalent. Actually, this type of transition is forbidden. Is not forbidden because within this different multiplet, according to the spin selection rule, the transition within the different multiplet is not allowed. It is forbidden. Only the transition allowed which having same multiplicity, are allowed. T1 to T2 is allowed, or T2 to T1 is also allowed. But the within different multiplet is not allowed. Okay. So why this occurs? Because of the reason is that this is not equal along with the selection rule. This is exactly opposite the selection rule. But due to the equivalent energy, of vibrational energy of singlet state and triplet state, the intersystem crossing of electron is possible with the spin inversion. Right? The spin inversion is there. So this is known as intersystem crossing. The intersystem crossing involves the intramolecular spin forbidden non-radioactive transition. This transition is also non-radioactive between the isoenergetic states of different multiplet. Right? The example is there, S1 from V0 to here it is. You can see that V0 is there. Right? You can see here. Okay, I'm going to now here it is. This V0 is there, and this is V. We can consider it is V3 or V4, the equivalent energy. Okay, so you can see that these two energy levels are equivalent to each other. So V0 from S1 and V3 from T1. So these two energy levels are equivalent, isoenergetic. So due to these transitions that is non-radioactive, means without emission of any kind of energy, takes place with the spin inversion. So in that case, the electron having spin like that, but when this transition occurs, the spin of electrons is like that. The spin of electron is inverted like that. So this is the spin of electron in this case, and this is the spin of electron in this case. So the time scale for this transition, this process, is 10⁻11 to 10⁻8 seconds. And the last step is that is known as phosphorescence. Phosphorescence means is a spin forbidden radioactive. It is a radioactive transition actually. It means while the transition takes place, the energy is emitted. That particular energy is known as phosphorescence. That particular energy is known as when the electrons from the higher excited state, lowest triplet excited state, right? This is lowest triplet excited state, and it comes down to the ground state with the emission of energy. This particular energy is known as phosphorescence. This is known as phosphorescence. Okay. So the emission transition from T1 to H0 is always phosphorescence. So it is a forbidden transition again. You can see that because the transition is not taking place within the same multiplet. This is a forbidden transition, but it occurs because none of the electrons always stay in the excited state. There is a scope to come down the electrons at the ground state. Okay. In phosphorescence, even after incident light radiation is cut off, there is emission of light for sometimes. There is a emission of light sometimes. The time scale for the photon emission by phosphorescence are is 10⁻³ to 10⁻² seconds. So it has a time. So as compared to the fluorescence is a very fast process, while the phosphorescence is a slow process. Okay. Now this is what we are going to consider the Jablonski diagram. Thank you.